allowing oil to move through the Strait of Hormuz. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump posted that on Truth Social, adding, "That's not the agreement we have."
With just 8 vessels reportedly passing through the strait in the first 48 hours of the ceasefire.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
I spoke with an intelligence source earlier today in the region who said the strait is effectively under full IRGC control. They decide who gets to go through, but more importantly, who doesn't. And so this is going to be a major issue at the negotiating table. And the Iranians keep making these public displays saying that they're in control, and those reports indicate they are even charging fees for vessels to pass through. But on a normal day, there are more than 100 vessels that pass through the strait. We're looking at single-digit numbers.
Vice President Vance will lead the U.S. negotiating team in the talks with Iran tomorrow in Pakistan, but there's another issue that Iran says could derail an agreement, still insisting that Lebanon was part of the ceasefire. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says no.
I want to tell you, there is no ceasefire in Lebanon. We continue to strike Hezbollah with force, and we will not stop until we restore your security.
He has agreed to talks with Lebanon's leaders next week. We're also learning Ukraine, still at war with Russia, helped us in the Iran conflict. Its President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine's military shot down Iranian drones in multiple Mideast countries. The Artemis II crew still asleep, about 81,000 miles away from Earth, but after a wake-up call later this morning, they'll finish packing and head home.
The crew of 4 journeyed to a point in space never before reached by humans, more than 252,000 miles away and on the far side of the moon, the first humans to visit in more than 50 years. Their spacecraft, an Orion capsule they've named Integrity, will splash land in the Pacific off San Diego's coast.
That's Fox's Evan Brown. They'll return at 8:07 p.m. Eastern after entering Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles an hour in a fireball protected by a heat shield. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
The biggest golf tournament of the year is here, and now you can trade the tournament on Kalshi. Kalshi partner Bryson DeChambeau is trading at 8% to win it all. That means $100 trade pays out $1,175 if he takes it. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out of your position all tournament long. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything.
He's still trying to stay in the U.S., but the most infamous deportee in the Trump illegal immigration crackdown, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, has lost one legal battle attempting to get human trafficking charges filed in Tennessee dismissed. That's been denied.
The judge says the government has indisputably shown legitimate reasons for its prosecution that are unrelated to Abrego Garcia's case in the District of Maryland. Meanwhile, a U.S. judge in Maryland has rejected the Trump administration's attempt to deport the illegal immigrant to Liberia. The judge in that case essentially scolded the Justice Department for attempting to dictate the actions of the court. Abrego Garcia is from El Salvador and was deported in error back to his home country last year before being returned to the U.S. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
In another high-profile deportation case, Mahmoud Khalil is a step closer to being kicked out of the country. The Board of Immigration Appeals issued a final order for his removal, which Khalil calls biased and politically motivated. He is a former Columbia University grad student turned Palestinian activist who came under scrutiny for leading loud anti-Israel protests in New York City against the war in Gaza. A mother in Georgia is behind bars again.
Sherry Magby was free on bond awaiting trial next month for allegedly assaulting her teenage son with a pocket knife in 2023. She's now held without bond, accused of leaving 6 other children home alone, hungry, ages 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. The 1-year-old died. The 10-year-old says they were eating ants and cockroaches with not enough food in the house. The mother's facing new child cruelty charges with more charges expected. Chris Foster, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures aren't moving much. Neither are oil prices. The day after more gains for the Dow and the NASDAQ, adding to the stock market surge and oil price plunge Wednesday, reacting to the ceasefire with Iran. The Masters has just resumed. Round 2 play underway at Augusta in Georgia. This is golf's first major of the year. The co-leaders, Rory McIlroy, Sam Burns, they'll play this afternoon. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A teen charged in Urbana shooting left another teen wounded in January. Police say detectives arresting a 16-year-old in connection with a January 29th incident. A 14-year-old shot sitting in a car on Hill Street after two male suspects approached, opening fire. Illinois Department of Corrections launching a new portal to help inmates receive an education. Journey to Success is a new customized educational content portal available on the tablet statewide. Application contains thousands of free courses and resources that individuals in custody can access from their living units. High school girls in central Illinois getting the chance to walk in a first responder's shoes. Camp Fury coming back to Champaign County for the fourth year in a row. Participants aren't just sitting and listening. This camp is filled with hands-on experience. It's a 5-day overnight experience that's packed with excitement for those who attend. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. A camp for first responders. Man.
Right.
I don't know about that.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea, but I'm just wondering, could Stevie J go to the scene of an accident and just figure it out and then go home and
decompress,
watch a ball game,
categorize?
Yeah, God bless you all for doing that work, because I'm not sure I'd be the best at that. And particularly firefighters, they're inevitably the first ones there.
Yeah.
And so the stuff they've seen, I don't know. I think you better grab me a weather station, Soye, versus me being on a first responder call. Be tough. Okay. Be tough. You there?
I'm here. How am I coming through?
Not very good.
Not very good?
No, a little echoey TNT.
No, you know what?
It's weird.
No, you know, I'm trying these new earbuds on. That's why I think we'll. I don't want to disconnect and lose us here. So
let's change the earbuds. Sorry.
Or should we take a brief station identification?
Yeah, go right ahead, sir. Yeah, we do this all live. It's awesome.
So anyway, we can talk about Urbana Park District sponsoring.
I just want to finish on this.
Oh, okay.
I had a guy that was on an ambulance for 15 years. And he said, you know what? No one ever said thank you.
Oh, wow.
Now, I understand at the moment, you go back and find the ambulance guy because you're in trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, they save people daily. And, I don't think you ought to slough that off.
That's right.
I think that would be a really hard job, getting the scene of accidents with death and all these other things, not to mention what the people look like. Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Good.
God bless you all. It's just sometimes we don't appreciate some of the really hard jobs that people do. Anyway, nice to have you listening. It's Friday. It's April 10, and Greg Solier said all week this rain's coming. Man, he's right down the middle. Once again, he did it again. He's done it again. Weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
Reminding you, there's great summer jobs and summer camps and all kinds of programs for the spring. Check it out at urbanaparks.org.
Also, criminal stuff, like really crappy, weird, wacko, psycho. I don't know how you go home and not think all day about that. I can just turn it off.
Is this the general first responder field that you're speaking of?
Yeah, I was talking, but the other really hard jobs would be chasing really sick people that are psychopathic. And that's what people do for a living. I don't know. Thank you. It's great. Awesome. I just say, welcome to Walmart. How can I help you? That's my job. I'm just practicing that. Just kind of if you see me around.
That's right.
All right, meteorologist Greg Solier.
It's the guy in the radio with the rock'em sock'em robots. He's looking at Walmart now.
I'll set up and we'll have a little round going now. Come on. Hey, don't break my toy. Hey, easy on the little thumbs.
Get off my lawn.
All right, buddy, what do you got?
Well, we got some rain, some cooler temperatures, but this too shall pass with another surge of summer-like warmth expected over the back end of the weekend, early next week, much like we experienced around here yesterday. But in the meantime, you had some shower activity pressing through East Central Illinois. We still have a little more work to do with trying to completely wind out this dry, drought-ridden setup. But we've made good improvement through Vermilion County, a little on the still drier side of Champaign County, but you're going to end up complaining at the weather guy because we just have way too much wet weather in the forecast going forward here in the days and next few weeks to come. But in the meantime, pretty good range of temperatures on the passage of this cool front up to the north. For example, 49 at the Kankakee, ahead of the front, 64 at St. Louis. We sit at 58 now over at Willard and Savoy, 57 up towards Rantoul. The wind coming around into the west and southwest, and some steady rains across the area for about the next hour to 90 minutes. We'll get a little break, a little more rain coming out of Missouri. So we'll be in and out of this stuff here this morning, winding on during the early afternoon, about 60 to 65 on a good part of the daytime, morning to early afternoon spread, and probably between about 55 and 60 later in the day, and no real clearing until towards evening time. The winds will come around into the northwest, and we'll clear it off tonight, bottom out at 38 to 42. Not a bad day tomorrow. Lots of sunshine in the morning, some more clouds in the afternoon, and out northwest of Champaign County towards evening time, there may be a stray shower with temps for the day tomorrow back up again to around 65. We'll hold up in the 50s tomorrow night, and there may be a quick shower thunderstorm passing to the north and west here Sunday morning, maybe one closer to home later in the day, but a good part of the day is dry, windy, warm, summer-like, around 80 on Sunday, into the low, middle 80s, and you'll feel the humidity again with each day. A couple of clusters of showers and thunderstorms late night to mid-morning, late afternoon, early evening. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, upper 70s Wednesday. Still lingering rain chances Thursday. We're finally drying out briefly next Friday with high temperatures still in the 70s, and what will be a wet rest of April here with field work and planting intentions in mind here across our part of the Corn Belt. For DVD Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Meteorologist Greg Solgay. I think a farmer got in the field yesterday.
Okay.
I don't know what they're going to do with that now with all the wet coming.
A little muddy.
You just don't really get to decide the date.
Yep.
Got to decide based on what you got, and it looks like it's going to be pretty wet here for a while. But
kind of be ready for anything.
Yep. All right, good morning. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Again, I'm Stevie J. Thank you for listening. I don't think Illinois lost anybody on their basketball team.
Okay.
Not that I've heard. I heard Tennessee, some big Tennessee guy went to Michigan. Great. Already? Anyway, some guy from Michigan, some big man has apparently, I haven't had time to even confirm it. It's just so many things. Head on a swivel. You have till the 21st to decide if you're leaving. I would think Illinois will have some people leave. I just think they're figuring it out, like, where would I go? Because one thing you don't ever want to do is leave to go nowhere.
It's looking like we've acquired on the women's basketball team Divine Borage, Bourrage.
Yeah, she was with LSU.
Her freshman year,
Yeah.
That's right. She's 5'11", and she's coming on.
Yeah,
she's from Davenport, Iowa. Isn't that where Shauna Green was from? I know she was Iowa.
Dayton coach, I don't know about her.
Okay.
I don't know where she played. Yeah, Shauna got a 5-star. LSU, not enough balls on that team. They don't have enough. She couldn't play all the time. Mm-hmm. That's because they're loaded with 5-star people. So good news for us because we got a good young team.
Yes,
and now
we
you're
do.
adding a real talent. Again, it's great. And then you got to say, well, gosh, I hope the chemistry's right. And Shauna checks all that stuff. Because you got to get along and you got to have the right mindset and all that other stuff. But
And really started the relationship with Divine when she was in high school.
Yeah, they had it going on. I think Illinois has done overall, I think all sports, based on what I know, staying in touch. Hey, good luck to you. I mean, being real wonderful. And then if it doesn't go well, they were so nice to me. Let me look at that again.
Yep.
That kind of thing. All right, we jump to some morning sports. ESPN 93.5, Brother Johnny and Ed Martin at the bottom of the hour.
And Consensus All-American. That means you get your jersey raised, Keaton Wagler. That's a decision to stay, right?
Well, I mean, somebody said if he stays, do you wait till he leaves?
True.
I would wait till he left.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you kind of, he's up there, but he's playing? Yeah, that kind of thing. We don't have to worry about that. There's no way. He can't stay.
Right. And, we were going through some NBA predictions, and he was in the top 10. I want to say it was 7 or 8,
6,
right?
I thought, but depends. I had him, one board had him at going to Dallas Mavericks with Cooper Flagg, who scored 50 as a 19-year-old.
That would be an interesting,
Boy, yeah.
With those guys being around the same age and all that.
Yeah,
I mean,
19, both 19, not old enough to drink, so, yeah. No,
so
crazy.
Illinois and New Orleans on baseball field at 6 o'clock. Illinois softball at 5 o'clock taking on UCLA. In case you'd like to head out and see some spring sports, I believe there's 11 different options this weekend with Mom's Day weekend going on.
I got rain, though, don't we?
I don't know how long this is going to stay with us. Probably should have paid attention when Greg was talking.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a rainy
We did have the Chicago White Sox in action yesterday, blanking the Kansas City Royals 2-0. Now we'll have the St. Louis Cardinals in action, and we've got your Redbird Recap.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
After an off day yesterday, the Cardinals are back at tonight. They are opening up a 6-game homestand in a big 3-game weekend series against the Boston Red Sox. Cardinals do bring some momentum into the weekend, having just won 2 of 3 against Washington. That wrapped up a 3-3 road trip. On the mound, Dustin May. He's still trying to get things going. He enters tonight's game with an 0-2 record and an elevated 15.95 ERA. He made 6 appearances and 5 starts for the Red Sox late last season. He also pitched against the Red Sox last year as a member of the Dodgers, a 5-inning losing effort. That's his only previous appearance against Boston. The Red Sox won 2 of 3 against Milwaukee as they also bring a little bit of momentum into the series. Lefty Connolly early on the mound, no record, a 2.89 ERA. 7:15 first pitch, our coverage at 6:20. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Got a day game today with Wrigley hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates, or the Chicago Cubs, rather. It's a 1:20 start over on US 105.9, and we've been handing out passes for the racing. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Yeah. That going to be okay, too?
Farmer City Raceway.
All right.
Yeah, I'm seeing just clouds for us, and I mean, we do have... right now we have rainy conditions, but as far as this evening...
Okay.
You are seeing.
Yeah, I don't know. Next time we'll listen. Next time we'll listen to Greg.
Instead of figuring out how to spell
if you watch us on
name.
X or YouTube channel, you'll see we're like spastic octopuses with arms moving everywhere. So.
Exactly. And since that's the beginning of the show, sometimes there's a few other topics to research.
I think the only way you're going to see the sunshine the next week is going to be above the clouds on an airplane.
I see.
That looks like that kind of week. So
well, in any case,
warm though.
It should be a fine time tonight and tomorrow, in case you want to check out the racing in Farmer City.
Yep, you bet. It's always fun. Lance is a good man that runs a. I wouldn't want to run a racetrack, but he's all over the place, man.
And it's an award-winning oval dirt track.
People have a good time out there, man.
It is so fun. I know it. I even got hit with a dirt claw.
Man,
I was hanging on the fence, though, on a corner.
Oh, Americana.
Right there on the chest.
Hey, slow down.
Yeah.
Dirt clods. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's essentially sports. I'm Diane.
Okay, and again, we'll keep our eye on the portal as we will. And just kind of watch and see and what's happening. The hottest guy out there is John Blackwell, whose dad Glenn in the 80s, if you're old enough. You remember Glenn was a really good lefty. And I'm just wondering, it's 40 years ago. So how old's Glenn? Glenn's 60 with a 20-year-old, I guess. Okay. Works. 7:18 weather brought to you by Carl.
Reminding you, always looking good for good members of the team. If you'd like to join, you have a passion for healthcare, carlhealth.org/careers.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois. Champaign and vicinity. Nice to have some overnight to morning rainfall across the area, getting in the way of spring fieldwork and planting operations, but still some abnormally dry, moderately drought-ridden conditions over still some parts of East Central Illinois and the Twin Cities at large. Cool off for a couple of days. Warm, summer-like environs into the first half of next week, and no shortage of rainfall making prospects as well. For the day today, breezy, cooler with some shower activity on and off through early afternoon. Temperatures right around 65 degrees on a northwest and west wind, shifting around 8 to the north as the day wears on, 12 to 24 and gusty. Clearing off for this evening, chillier, 38 to 42 on the low. Tomorrow, sunshine in the morning, partly sunny afternoon, the high at about 65 or so, and the breeze around into the east and southeast. There may be an isolated shower late and a chance tomorrow night too, with temperatures down into the 50s, out near 80. Gusty south wind and maybe shower thunderstorm early and late with scattered showers and thunderstorms and highs in the lower 80s first part of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Within the cities we call home, Busey Bank is more than a name. It's a commitment to your dreams. With Busey, trusted guidance is tailored to empower you every step of the way. Whether it's seamlessly managing your finances or planning for your future, Busey is dedicated to your financial success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
When you're stuck on the road, you need help you can trust. Fast. That's where T-Pro Towing and Roadside Repair comes in. From light duty to heavy duty towing, they've got you covered 24 hours a day. With their state-of-the-art facilities, 3Cs, a division of T-Pro Towing, can repair semis to passenger cars at their Camargo facility. Service across central Illinois, including Urbana, Tuscola, and Camargo. Save their number now, 217-253-3450. That's T-Pro Towing and 3Cs. Ready when you need them, anytime, anywhere.
Here's a tip for your next flooring project. Bring your photos to the new showroom at Flooring Surfaces. Our dedicated team can design an incredible look using a showroom filled with the latest fashions and innovations in floor covering, colorful ceramic tiles, performance vinyls, large format porcelains, fine wool carpets. If you saw it on your phone, make it a reality at Flooring Surfaces. Just call 217-398-1990 to schedule your design consultation today.
Flooring Surfaces, your first stop.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com. Oh yeah, Masters is day 2. It's top of the leaderboard. Somebody was Rory McIlroy. -5 is the best score. 67 is pretty good. Hard to shoot that at the Masters, but the weather apparently is pretty darn good. And greens are soft, meaning you can go after them. And remember Johnny talking about the quadrants of the green. There's 4 quadrants, and you have to hit the right 25% of the green. If you don't, then good luck. So that's why it's the Masters. You're the greatest. You're a master at being able to play the game of golf. And so you have to qualify very hard to get in that tournament. Can't just walk up. So you have to qualify and stay qualified and all those things. And kind of a highlight, Bobby Jones is a guy that built that. The great Bobby Jones, who was an amateur that never did go pro and won all those golf tournaments as an amateur. Amazing story. Anyway, the Masters, where it is so hilly you'd never know it. You'd see it on the TV and it's gorgeous playing in a garden, but sometimes in front of the green, you can't see the flag. That's how hilly that is on that green, that kind of thing. And so walking it is, and people that go there every year, I don't know how you go there every year. How do you get a ticket every year? I thought it was a lottery. And I know that there's a guy named Joe Frank at Busey Bank many, many years ago that was just as nice a man as you could ever meet in your life. And he went to the Masters every year. Maybe back then they didn't have to have a lottery. Anyway, there are, 50,000 people out on the ground, something like that. It's must be some kind of experience. I would not mind doing that at some point, just to say I did. Anyway, you're not going to see the golf tournament very well, but unless you get perched on, I think you get perched on 12, and you see 11 coming in, and then 12 is that par 3. That might be pretty interesting. But, anyway, that's going on, day 2 today. We'll see if, by the way, Rory said, since he won the Masters in the green jacket last year, he said when you win one, it feels easier to win another one. It's just that first one to ever win, you're in legend land if you ever win a green jacket.
Yes.
Jack Nicklaus was the opening, took the opening drive yesterday. Gary Player, Tom Watson, 3 legends. But Jack said, I don't know. And he always comments, and everybody can hear him because he's mic'd up. He said, I might hurt myself putting my tee in. He's 86. And, his swing was his swing. He still had that kind of look before he took it, kind of eyeballs it and cocks his head. And And Gary Player appears to still be the best guy in that shape, but he looked like he was slowing down a little bit. The great South African. And Tom Watson's relatively youthful in his 70s, but there's always a massive crowd at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Eastern, I think. It's early. And those guys hit the first tee balls, and everybody clapped and looked like they hit pretty straight balls. They didn't go very far, but who cares?
It's the Masters.
It's the Masters.
The 90th edition.
90 years of the Masters.
Man.
And you win one of those green jackets, you got it going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 7:25. I believe we have the Donald Trump pardon attorney on today. And we'll do a quick text.
Okay.
And see if he's still available. And then Johnny is in New Orleans as normal, so we'll have them both on. We will talk about what the latest. Apparently, Mark Rutte from NATO is trying to get the NATO people to help secure the Straits of Hormuz. So, no way. Italy got so afraid they didn't let us fly our jets over their airspace.
Right.
Holy cow. Attaboy, we're doing pretty good with that NATO thing. We all got each other's back, right?
What the heck?
They don't want to get involved because they don't want their own Muslim population to do an uprising. If they have 5 million Muslims in France, that's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But what I think we're kind of getting to a little bit in this country is you don't assimilate anymore. You kind of claim an area. What the heck? That's called an invasion. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come to my neighborhood because you're not. Who made that rule? That's
right.
Not what we do. All right, 217-359-2255. You're always welcome to text in on the Fisher National Bank text line. Any thoughts you have on what we say or anything else and what's going on? We appreciate traffic tips from time to time. People give us a shout out about stuff on different interstates when it happens. All right, we're going to come right back. We'll get the news, and then we'll get Brother Johnny and Ed Martin, normally Wednesdays, but with his new gig in Washington, D.C., in the White House, and all his interactions with the president, he's somewhat busy and has things come up. And yes, the president does text at all hours of the night. So I don't think the man sleeps. All right, 7:27. Be right back.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Provident Financial Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Service Advisors, Inc.
Everyone knows that when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. But did you also know that if you don't have a key and you need it to run, call 367-9481. PDR now performs key cutting with programming. PDR also performs module cloning. Cloning makes that module plug and play, in many cases allowing you to utilize a used module where a new module is no longer available or very expensive. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
The 22nd Annual Festival of Quilts is happening Friday, April 10th from 9 to 5 and Saturday, April 11th from 9 to 2. This signature fundraising event at Cunningham Children's Home, 1301 North Cunningham in Urbana, supports nearly 1,000 youth and families served each year. Quilters from around the area are honoring the tradition started in 1895. A $10 donation at the door is suggested, with kids 10 and under free with a paying adult. Don't forget to buy a treat at the bake sale, April 10th and 11th at Cunningham Children's Home. It's the Festival of Quilts.
Why use Land's Underground Solutions? We have the team, the technology, the tools, and the most experienced team in the industry.
Hi, it's Wes from Land's Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our mission at Land's is to provide top-tier service, prioritize our customers with upfront pricing, and maintain exceptional communication. We assure you at Land's we will only recommend what you truly need, from regular maintenance on your home's mechanical systems with the Land's Comfort family to replacement of existing equipment. Now would be a great time to consider updating your HVAC system. Visit us at landsinc.com.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Vice President J.D. Vance heading to Pakistan for peace talks with Iran. But can they get on the same page?
One issue that appears to be a sticking point is whether or not Israel will still be able to strike Hezbollah, Iran's largest proxy based in Lebanon. Overnight, Israel struck a variety of launching positions in southern Lebanon, and shortly after, Hezbollah launched a rocket that triggered sirens in Tel Aviv.
Fox's Trey Yanks in the city. An Israeli intelligence official tells Fox News Iran is demanding fees from vessels that pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Artemis II and its 4-person crew splashing down later today up the coast of San Diego.
The winds cooperating well below that threshold of 30 miles per hour, 35 miles per hour, and also the wave heights. You want the largest wave out of the set to be less than 6 feet.
Fox Weather's Britta Merwin. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A former city man's been found guilty nearly a year after a deadly DUI crash in Piatt County. A jury Wednesday convicting 45-year-old Jason Sharp on 4 counts of aggravated driving under the influence. It happened at 2500 North Road and 800 East Road April 13th last year, where investigators say Sharp, driving westbound, disobeyed a yield sign and struck a car traveling north. Former Paxton pharmacist pleads guilty to a felony drug charge as part of a plea deal. 36-year-old Jenna Lee Vogel admitted to possession with intent to deliver, a conviction that carries up to 5 years. Vogel remains on pretrial release and will be sentenced come June 2nd. Potholes are showing up across Champaign and Urbana, and city crews are out daily making repairs. Urbana Public Works using a spray injection patching truck and an asphalt dump truck to speed up fixes that are caused by recent temperature swings. At Urbana, you can contact the Public Works Department. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, take a look at our rainy and cloudy kind of a weekend here on ESPN 93.5. Our meteorologist is Mr. Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Nice to have some overnight to morning rainfall across the area, getting in the way of spring fieldwork and planting operations, but still some abnormally dry, moderately drought-ridden conditions over still some parts of East Central Illinois and the Twin Cities at large. Cool off for a couple of days, warm summer-like environs into the first half of next week, and no shortage of rainfall making prospects as well. For the day today, breezy, cooler with some shower activity on and off through early afternoon. Temperatures right around 65 degrees on a northwest and west wind shifting around into the north as the day wears on. 12 to 24 and gusty. Clearing off for this evening. Chillier, 38 to 42 on the low. Tomorrow, sunshine in the morning, partly sunny afternoon. The high at about 65 or so, and the breeze around into the east and southeast. There may be an isolated shower late, and a chance tomorrow night too, with temperatures down into the 50s, out near 80. Gusty south wind and maybe shower thunderstorm early and late with scattered showers and thunderstorms and highs in the lower 80s first part of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Well, this Friday morning, there's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I'm Stevie J. It's Friday, April 10. Brother Johnny's joined us in New Orleans, and also, you're kidding.
No way.
Yep. Yeah, he's on. Ladies and gentlemen, pardon attorney, among other things, for Ed Martin. Ed, you there?
I am, yeah. Happy to be here, guys. Excited to be with you.
Could you please describe your day? Well, help me know. Is there a typical Ed Martin superstar holding our government together? He's the man day.
Man, that's a good question, Stevie J. There's nothing typical. I joke with people sometimes when you meet famous people like, say, President Trump. You think that, you think they're going to be different, and they are different. but then they put their pants on one leg at a time, as the old saying goes. So a typical a day for me starts with something like a crisis in the house because somebody can't find their pants for school. You know, my son is 17 years old, and he can't. So it may feel like we're addressing Iran and the rest of the world, but right, this morning Michael couldn't find pants to wear to school. So that's I guess everybody's typical is a little. Everything gets back to basics, but no, it's always interesting here in the swamp.
What kind of day? I mean, is it a long day? Is it a regular hour day? What do you? I would imagine you're getting stuff all the time.
Well, you know what's interesting? There's psychology of, I think, being what they call a political appointee. You're someone who's brought in just for this period. So on one level, I don't want to not work 23 and a half hours a day because I feel like I'm on borrowed time, right? This is only a short time. The other thing that's really interesting, and I'm not being too cynical when I say this because I can hear Johnny's going to laugh right away, but nobody in government works that hard. So if you work more than about 6 hours a day, you look like a rock. You look like a rock star. People are like, "My God, you have the work ethic of a Spartan," and you're like, well, "I don't know. I just was here for 6 hours and had an hour and a half for lunch. I don't know." But so it's and that of course is if you're ambitious and you're energetic and you're a certain type of personality, having people say you're hardworking and you're really contributing gets you energized to do more. And so you might work a 7-hour day. So it's a funny business, but it's all good. And as you say, there's a lot going on on every level. Again, when you're a political appointee like I am, you're looking at the big picture of how he's governing and how everything's going, as well as your day-to-day thing, and you're trying to fit into all the pieces. For example, the national fraud effort. There's a whole part of that you're seeing in California right now, massive fraud in California, but there's a whole piece of that also relates to immigration, and it's something that I worked on when I was U.S. Attorney. So being able to pull across the sort of government and say, hey guys, when you're looking at how the Biden administration waived asylum applications without any scrutiny, they created a whole set of people who could work in those industries in a corrupt system. And not to pick one, but they are the most egregious. The Somalis are really good at bringing their own people in to work in these corrupt systems, and they have a sort of a cultural system, and makes it so that they do that for each other as almost like different than anything else. And you can call it familial, you can call it mafia, whatever you want. And that's an immigration problem that touches on all these other fraud issues that you see. So it's kind of an interesting how often I end up in a different division of the government talking about some of the issues that relate to the work I've been doing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's a whole rat's nest that goes to a lot of places. But I can tell you, Eddie's busy, Steve. He's sold himself short. I was kind of envisioning I'm going to be up there a week from Tuesday, Stevie, and I was going to have these kind of series of receptions and dinners with Eddie, and it's boiled down to maybe meet him at the base of the Washington Monument with the subway for 30 minutes.
It's going to be like,
but he's going to have sunglasses and a hat, but he didn't tell me what kind of hat.
Oh man!
It's going to be like Deep Throat. I'm going to put a plant out on the thing, and that'll signal. Yeah, well, anyway, but guys, we're burying the lead. At least Bobby Hurley didn't win the whole thing. Yeah, right. I mean, Danny Hurley. So I know he beat the Illini, but at least Danny Hurley didn't win the whole thing again, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, I didn't have the disdain for him that I would have if we hadn't talked. So, yeah, I thought that we had a good shot on him. It's just they didn't fall, and then Michigan's good. Michigan's a good team. So yeah.
All right, it's Brother Johnny and Ed Martin. Apparently, Mark Rutte from NATO was talking to Donald Trump Wednesday, and he said he's going to try and get NATO to protect the Straits of Hormuz, which kind of makes me laugh. I don't think there's any shot at that, Ed. There's no way. They don't want any part of it. Wouldn't give us airspace in Italy because they're afraid of their own Muslim population, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think at this point, when you're that guy Rutte, you show up at the White House and you see how grumpy the president is, you better come with some kind of something you're going to do. I agree with you. I don't know. It's good or bad. America has to do it. So I don't think that these other countries, maybe they'll contribute some money, maybe they'll have some ships, But in general, they're not going to lead, and that's just the reality. And I think, again, one service that President Trump has done is to show sort of starkly how our allies supposedly are helping us or not, and I think that's what people kind of see, and they realize, okay, that's a different setup than we expected, and maybe we're going to adjust the way we think about it.
Eddie, he shows the real position we're in and what he's dealing with the allies, and he also really fleshed out, as if we didn't need to know, but really how bad the Iranian regime is. In the last 4 or 5 months, we realized these people are every bit as bad as the Nazis, as the Democrats they like to talk about, which is the final group that just when you think they can't be any worse, they show a worse side of themselves in Washington, D.C., these Democrats. And their behavior during this has been beyond outrageous. It's like, wow, this is an illegal war. Then it's like, he caved. What is that, Eddie?
Right,
what do you think of that when you're right in the middle of it? It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, it's unbelievable, but it's only unbelievable if you're not paying attention to the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years because of Trump. Yeah. So it just kind of feels like what they do, and also it doesn't feel relevant the same way. There's something about the moment where people know now Iran was really bad, so they're like, okay, get it done. And only sort of silly people in the Democrat Party, or, to be fair, people that are anti-war on the libertarian or conservative side that are consistent are saying, hey, we don't want more entanglement. But the president knows there's no entanglements. He doesn't want that. He's a deal maker. He's a winner. He's not going to let things drag. He's going to get them done. And so, I think, but I'm not surprised by anything Democrats do. Again, we keep talking about it. Everybody says that Republicans are going to lose in the midterm. But as Johnny, you've said for years, you got to lose against something. So if you just show what they're for, the Democrats, they're for the craziest stuff. And therefore, if that's clear, I don't think many people are going to say, wow, I want more of that. I want more transgender. I want more corruption. So it's a matter of making that case.
Yeah.
Exactly, open borders, right. So making that case is what we have to do. We have to expect that's going to happen.
You're right, Ed, and I've talked to people who just say, well, this is what he's doing. I can't vote for him. I just can't vote for him. And I'm like, who you going to vote for? Oh man, I guess you got a point.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I can't vote for them. So maybe you just don't vote if you're just that anti-Trump. But how do you vote for bringing all of this back? We're in Iran because of their policies. Now maybe it's a good thing because we didn't know how much they were doing towards their nuclear proliferation. We couldn't know. They wouldn't let us look, even though that was the deal. So, I think it was a necessary war. I don't think anybody wants to do it. But Ed, the other problem, well, you can say problem, but you can have the greatest defense in the world, but the truth is, the new deal is we're okay with the war if it's short and if nobody gets hurt. And that's tough. That's a tough demand. Right. So
not to mention that the gas prices are agitating people, and you look at the big picture. No matter what happens, we did a good thing because we at least put them back in a whack-a-mole kind of a thing. They're going to be down 10 or 20 years, but they're going to recongregate. They're going to redo this. You get Gavin Newsom back in there, as Johnny said, this is all gone. It's going to go away. All of this.
Yeah. And the gas prices, Ed, remember when Obama came in, they said we need to get these gas prices up to $7 or $8. And when Biden was in, we were right here, and nobody was. It's the end of the world. It's the gas prices, and it's going to go up and down. It's very volatile. I can't say this, Ed. I have an opinion or a plan for most things. I don't know what's going to happen, or I don't know what he's going to do. I don't have the intel to even postulate scenarios here in terms of the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think that's part of. I watched a biography of Nixon, and at one point Nixon was quoted as saying something like, unpredictability is an asset. Which is, I think people understand when they hear that phrase. I think Trump does that a lot. He also does it with our expectations. So I got to think that he's. I know he's tracking the problems, the way people feel about them, And the big one is gas prices, of course, but also then the question of like inflation on your food. I hear that more from people. They just don't understand how expensive it's gotten to go out to eat, right? And it hits them in a way. I don't know how you address those kinds of things. Remember, ultimately, we end up with our opinions assigned to us by the various media that are out there driving an agenda. And so if you start to see an agenda driven through across, and I know people say, well, it's fragmented and there's X and there's all these other things. That's sort of true, but you talk to voters and people that are higher likelihood of voting, which usually is 55 and older, certain types of professionals, and they start to carry and they start to have a viewpoint that really feels assigned to them. And that's the question. Trump is great at breaking that. He's great at changing the data. Like he's counting on the fact that we're going to be celebrating the Iran victory in 5 weeks from now because people's memories are short. So, but we'll see what happens. And it's coming fast. And I like to remind people: imagine, if you can, what it would be like for the Democrats to have control in this environment where all they can do is one trick: hate Trump. They can't do anything about a vision, about a future. It's just hate Trump. What will they do if they have power for 2 years to a Trump presidency? I mean, that's crippling to think about.
Well, I tell you, Ed, I'm worried that they're going to go to Iran, try to make friends, give them a bunch of money, say we're sorry, and then we're going to get vaporized. I mean, the thing, Trump's problem is he doesn't really want to care about politics and polls. He's in charge, but he has to, because the biggest threat, it's not climate change, it's not Russia, it's the progressive Democrats who may take over our country. That is a problem. So he's got to worry about the politics, because if he does something that they can worm their way in with this media propaganda machine, we have a problem, because it's getting more and more dangerous to have incompetency leading the United States of America for the whole world. That's becoming as critical as ever, but they can do more damage faster with the new technology than ever before. And so I'm concerned, and he has to get through this with a win as far as opening the strait, and I don't think he can do anything about the regime. That's where we need NATO, Eddie. We need about 1.5 million troops from 15 countries and just go dig them out over the next 18 months. That's not going to happen. And so we got to figure out how to live with it.
I think there's a lot of, I'm just going to say it, I think in Congress, all the, quote, Republicans, I think they're just waiting, biding their time. All they want to do is be in power. I don't trust half the Republicans anymore.
Well, that's fair. I mean, that's not unfair at all. I think, again, one of the great exposures. So let me make two observations about this last couple of years. One is the people are they can't remember Doge. But what Doge did, look, I've been around this for a long time. Johnny, you spent years working on term limits because you saw the swamp and the impact of things. There's nothing like what happened with Doge. And the number one thing that happened with Doge was they exposed that there was billions, with a B, billions and billions of dollars being transferred from the American Treasury to NGOs, they call them, nonprofits, all over the world, doing all sorts of weird stuff, but mostly feathering the beds of the connected. There are thousands and thousands of executives in the D.C. metro area who made six figures, made $200,000 as a vice president of some NGO that was funded by our tax dollars that did weird and dumb stuff, if they did anything at all. Look, humans are humans. When you see people corrupt, taking tax dollars to run a fake hospice in L.A. or taking tax dollars to run a fake child care center in Minnesota, and you say, oh, those Somalis or those whoever, they really are corrupt. Trust me, every human is fallen and corrupt. And the corruption of USAID that Doge exposed is the elite class. The ruling class's friends and family were the ones in those jobs. That's a huge, and that, by the way, my point, Stevie J, is that's both parties. That's a threat to both parties. When you drain the swamp, you don't drain the Democrat swamp. You drain the swamp. They're both there. By the way, second quick observation that I think is underrated. We fought this war in Iran, and we now have seen a highly funded, highly sophisticated enemy, Iran, mostly funded by China and selling gas and oil to Russia and China. But they used Chinese weapons, and they used drones. We've learned a lot about warfare. We've learned a lot about asymmetric warfare and what a failing regime would do with some money and drones. and it made us stronger, is my point. We are learning how to fight. We're more dominant today than we were 4 weeks ago in the world, and the world knows it. So in terms of the big stick, you want peace? Donald Trump's got the biggest stick we've ever seen in human history because of what we've learned. So, these are tenuous. And by the way, everybody knows that now. So the United States is the most powerful country in the history of the world, with the most powerful military in the history of the world, with a sense of superiority to drive what? An agenda for peace or not peace is in charge. Do you think Greenland's not thinking about how to cut a deal? You're damn right they're going to cut a deal. You think Cuba's not realizing that they're next? They're damn right they're next. And the only question is, will we have leaders in office, both parties, as you point out, Stevie J, who have morality, who have truth, who have a vision that is anything but corrupt? That's the question.
I think there's a lot of non-corrupt people. It's just hard for them to win because they play by the rules more or less. And I'll tell you, it's so much easier to tear something out. Hey, we can build something quick. In 18 months, it's unbelievable. It takes about 15 minutes to blow it up. It's so easy, and that's what the progressives do. They just tear things down, and it's very effective. They can destroy things in an instant that took decades to build, and they move on to the next. You don't hear what they're going to do because they have no vision other than stop. They're just like the remember the Mongolians? They just went across the world just wiping out cities. They moved on, get the next one. They just got tired. Or we may not have a civilization. And this is what the progressives probably match up to the best, is this just tear it down. Tear it down. We don't want, well, what about this? Terrible. Okay, we'll do this then. Terrible. And it's just hard to watch it. And their plan of making friends with Iran didn't work, but they won't admit that. We're fighting this war because they tried to make a deal and actually helped them along to where they could almost start firing off nukes at various people, starting with Israel. So I tell you, we've got to somehow get to a point where we keep them from taking the house, because we can get a lot more done. And we're not probably not going to get another Trump in our lifetime. So
okay, before we let Ed Martin, Brother Johnny, go, I gotta bring this up. Masters in Augusta, Georgia. Ed, do you know that Johnny thought of 39 on the front nine, right, John? The front nine?
Yeah.
He shot a 39 in golf.
I'm a 15 handicap, Ed, and I couldn't shoot to that. But I got up in the morning, and it was like when you're shanking it, you don't know what's going on. It was the same thing, only it was like Watson. Poof. I've heard Watson hit. Poof, that compression. I'm like, what's that? What happened? I must have slipped on my arm. I must have slipped on my arm wrong or something.
And then Johnny has always collected the Calamity Jane, the original putters of Bobby Jones, and he said everything was going in for him with that putter.
No, it was like it was carved from the root of one of those trees out there. Because Bob Jones is a blade putter. I only use the putter because you know how you bet $5 or $10 on a round, and if I ever make a putt with that, everything my opponent knew about golf was wrong. So it's very good, and it was really uncanny. And I'm not going. Ain't gonna be no rematch. Ain't gonna be no.
you said that it was like playing in a garden.
Yeah, unbelievable, just unreal. So
well,
it's beautiful. It's nice.
Going on this weekend in Augusta. Gorgeous place.
All right.
Well, Ed, we are pulling for you, and knowing. Are you afraid sometimes when you're with Trump to bring stuff up that he might not like?
No, he's actually not. He actually doesn't mind that. It's a funny thing. He what he doesn't like is he doesn't like you to bring something up that doesn't have you haven't thought through solutions, because he immediately goes to that. He says, what do you do if you don't have if you don't know the first time you don't know an answer to that, you find yourself on the end of a glare that's like, why are we wasting our time?
Right,
but in general, his day is filled, and it's been this way this is one of the reasons why chief executives I think are well suited for these kinds of roles. In a way, you're all day long you're deciding hard stuff, right? He doesn't get the easy stuff. Nobody comes in and says, steak or chicken to him. Yeah. They come in and say, we got to reset the whole economy of a third world country. Is this okay? And he has to have. So he doesn't mind hard conversations. He just wants you to have thought out solutions. And if you say, "Oh, the answer is this," he always says, "Wait a second. What are the other answers?" He will give me some of the other answers that could have been. And so, and he's so different in private than he is either on his Truth Social or on TV. He's just so different. He actually is much more passive in terms of listening and taking in what's going on. He doesn't dominate the room he at all. He kind of he drives people to dominate. Like he'll pick you out to pull you forward. But it's something to see. It's really an amazing thing. Very different. People have talked about it, but I think there needs to be more. In private, when he's not doing the show, he's just a very different person and very impressive.
Well, remember Bill Maher, Steve? He says, the people we've been talking about wasn't there when I had dinner with Trump. The man you've been telling, that man wasn't with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, and Bill Maher almost lost his job. You can't talk glowingly from that perch about Donald Trump.
No,
he got a lot of pushback. But is it? How do you explain how he lives with very little rest? Correct? He's not sleeping much.
Oh yeah, no, he never sleeps. He never sleeps at all. I mean, he's never. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that never has done that. One thing I was going to say, I was thinking about this before we talked. I'll shove it in here. It is funny. We forget he's in his second term in a way because they weren't consecutive. Presidents in their second terms, they're used to power now, and they're used to being right. They trust their instincts incredibly, and they don't play. You see, yesterday he was blasting Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and all these things. I think they get to a point where they're like, I don't have to play nice anymore. I'm not on the ballot again. So I'm not gonna sit here and take it because I might be on the ballot again. I'm just gonna say what I want. You can feel that a little bit with him. He's a little looser in terms of I'm not gonna play along with some of these things. I'm just gonna be what I want to be. And you can see it on personnel. I think you might see it in some of his picks. Like he's gonna have a Supreme Court pick in the next year or two. I gotta think. And so and maybe by the way, maybe he even has one next month because there's a good chance at the end of this term, the term ends in June, and that would be when someone like Alito might say to the country and to the president, I'm going to give you back. I'm going to give you back. Well, I know you'd hate to lose him, but Alito's old school. And old school meaning he'll think to himself, I want to have a life with my wife. I want to go off and make money. And I'm going to give it back to a president when he can get someone confirmed.
Yeah.
Because if you go ahead and do a Ruth Bader Ginsburg and stay on until you die, you could end up giving over the seat to the other side. So Alito's not that kind of guy. He's old school. So he's going to say, I could serve another 15 years if I live to be, 86, but I prefer to give this back now. And that might happen. And my point is, then you're going to see the president pick somebody that he wants. It's a different moment. And you see it, I think, in his personality and in how he judges things and what he does. But by the way, we haven't said it. Melania's statement yesterday, Melania, the Vice President of the United States, the First Lady of the United States comes out and says, stop bad-mouthing these Epstein survivors. Give them a voice. Let them be heard publicly under oath. To me, it was out of the blue. It was, and that's something where a president's not going to tell his wife not to do something. Maybe in the first term he does, right? Maybe in the first term he says there's no benefit for us, or I don't know. But she just did that. So it's, I don't know. It's an incredible time. It's just an amazing time, and I hope it's a golden age. I worry that the left is so fraught with evildoers that we may see worse than we've ever imagined, but we'll see.
All right. Well,
hey, I know you got to go,
keep praying.
But Eddie, we need to make plans. We need to make plans.
See what I'm doing, Stevie J? Stevie J, you play hard to get it. You play hard to get it. And he just I'll call you. No, I know you call Johnny.
We'll go anywhere, Eddie. I'll buy you anything, Eddie. No. Now that he slipped up and says he's only working 6 hours, I'm going to start calling him all day.
There you go.
Hey, listen. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ed. Have a great weekend. We really appreciate your time, both of you, and we'll talk hopefully next week.
Yep.
All right.
All right, guys. God bless.
God bless you. That's
care.
Ed Martin, brother Johnny. Ed out in Washington, of course. Johnny in New Orleans. And yeah, Ed's in the middle of it. But just his comments about how different Donald Trump is, nobody would ever believe it. But I've heard it from multiple people that have meetings with him that he is just different. So all the people that say he's this, and this, it's just not true. But the perception is it is. He's a Nazi. He wants to take over the world. He's an egomaniac, all these other things. But it sounds like in a room, he's not talking much.
Right.
And you say, he's bombastic. He's not like that. I hope Ed writes a book after all this because I'd like to know more.
That'd be great.
ESPN 93.5. We're going to break for the news and come right back. It is Friday, April 10, ESPN 93.5.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance.
Getting new siding and windows is a part of good home maintenance, and it's also a way to improve your home's value and curb appeal. Kramer offers preservation siding and windows in lots of styles and colors. Shutters and trim will complete the look, and our online design tool will help you try before you buy. So start today and save 25%.
Call 217-355-2720, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Vice President Vance is on his way to Pakistan. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, where he will lead the U.S. talks with Iran after the ceasefire put a stop to the U.S. and Israeli attacks.
We're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see, as the President of the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand.
Israel continuing to attack Lebanon is a big point of contention for Iran. For the U.S., reopening the Strait of Hormuz is vital. President Trump posted on Truth Social, Iran's doing a very poor job.
An Israeli intelligence official tells Fox News Iran is indeed demanding fees for the few vessels it's allowing to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. This official adds the strait is effectively under full IRGC control. They decide who gets to go through, but more importantly, who doesn't.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Oil prices down a bit this morning after Wednesday's big plunge. They're still way higher than before the conflict started. And we just got the first inflation report for March showing a 0.9% increase in consumer prices from February. The annual rate of inflation also rose to 3.3%. Now today, President Trump will meet with some Republican senators discussing Homeland Security funding, still held up in a stalemate with Democrats in Congress who keep demanding immigration enforcement reform. Senator Rick Scott tells Fox Business the GOP has to work around that.
So we have two options. Either we're going to have to do it through reconciliation, which only takes Republican votes, and we ought to do it for 10 years so this never happens again, or we've got to come to our senses, get rid of the filibuster, and start passing things on a majority vote.
The Artemis moon mission ends tonight. The astronauts will come home in a fireball at first, protected by a heat shield.
That shield protects the crew from the intense heat from friction as Earth's upper atmosphere slows the capsule from about 24,000 miles an hour to about 350 miles an hour.
Fox's Jonathan Sari says 11 parachutes will help slow the crew down for the splashdown off the San Diego coast, 8:07 p.m. Eastern Time. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
The biggest golf tournament of the year is here, and now you can trade the tournament on Kalshi. Rory McIlroy is trading at 7% to win it all. That means a $100 trade pays out over $1,100 if he takes it. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the odds move, you can buy in and out of your position all tournament long. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PRESS to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Ukraine has helped the U.S. in the Iran conflict and our allies. President Volodymyr Zelensky says his military has helped shoot down Iranian drones over multiple Middle East countries. This says Ukraine remains at war with Russia, but maybe not this weekend.
Orthodox Easter is on Sunday. Russia's President Putin is ordering troops to observe a ceasefire in Ukraine for 36 hours starting 4 p.m. Saturday. Ukraine's President Zelensky had previously proposed a weekend pause on attacking each other's energy infrastructure. Both sides accused the other of violating a 30-hour Easter ceasefire last year. Orthodox Christian is the majority religion in Ukraine and Russia. They use a different calendar to calculate Easter than Western churches. Chris Foster, Fox News.
A sheriff's deputy is being mourned in California. Randy Hoppert was killed by a gunman who barricaded in a home afterward as he served an eviction notice. Then he went on the run and fired at officers.
The suspect is now dead. He was not shot. One of the Bearcats ran over him and killed him.
Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreau, the deputy, leaves behind a wife who's 4 months pregnant. Now an update on the American man under arrest in the Bahamas, but not charged with a crime so far. In his wife's disappearance, he claims she went overboard in rough seas as they went from their small boat to their yacht.
Brian Hooker is now in jail in the Bahamas. He was questioned 3 times, the final time as a suspect. He actually fell into the water while handcuffed, while being transported to jail. He had to be rescued by police. His attorney spoke and said his missing wife had a medical condition which may actually be a factor in her disappearance. The couple has been married for 25 years. They're sailing the world. They were from Michigan, but the two did have a very turbulent relationship. Police were called to their house in 2015 for a domestic violence report.
That's Fox's Steve Harrigan. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. High school girls in central Illinois getting the chance to walk in a first responder's shoes. Camp Fury coming back to Champaign County for the 4th year in a row. Participants aren't just sitting and listening. This camp is filled with hands-on experience. It's a 5-day overnight experience that's packed with excitement for those who attend. A teen charged in a Urbana shooting left another teen wounded in January. Police say detectives arresting a 16-year-old in connection with a January 29th incident. A 14-year-old shot sitting in a car on Hill Street after 2 male suspects approached, opening fire. Illinois Department of Corrections launching a new portal to help inmates receive an education. Journey to Success is a new customized educational content portal available on the tablets statewide. Application contains thousands of free courses and resources that individuals in custody can access from their living units. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller. 8:06. Yeah, we're watching Artemis 2. This is the slingshot around the moon. A dark side of the moon where nobody had ever been. So
they had gotten way out there.
Man.
Wow, yeah.
And to see the Earth come up as you're looking behind the moon, that'd been amazing. That's so 4 people now have done that. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we want to eventually, according to Donald Trump, have some sort of a, encampment in the moon.
Colony, right?
Yeah,
out there,
like a moon station where you launch to Mars. I just think, at some point, it's just too long a drive for me. I can't do 9.
Are you there yet?
18 months. I mean, is that the?
Are we there yet?
I think you can get there in 18 months. Is that the last? Could you Google or something? How long does it take
months.
to get to the month?
That's just,
well, first of all,
you really got to think that through.
I mean, you're going to give up
18 out, 18 back. And how long would you stay in Mars?
I mean, I don't know. What do you do there? Don't take your shield up or anything. You can't breathe.
Take some selfies anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Can you point the aerial and pick up the Illini games? Can you or no?
Doubt if you're going to be up there and say, "Is this on Peacock?" I can't get it.
Can you stream?
It's just such a whole nother level. You have to give up essentially your life. A, it's very, very risky. B, I guess after I did some deadlifting at CrossFit, Janet just candidly said, "Why?" And
why you're lifting?
Well, why so heavy?
Right.
And then to that I said, Olympics?
Right.
Settle down, Grandpa.
Right.
What
just
kind
of ease in. It's fine.
But it's just it has to be a why in your life. No matter who you are, you have to have a reason. And I fear there's a lot of drifting, really right now. And a lot of people don't know the direction they're going, what they're going to do, who they're going to be, what they're going to say. They don't. They're confused. And there's this, and somebody said that, and that's you believe it, and it was wrong, and you can't find the truth, and you're just anyway. So
people don't roll out of bed at 14 or 13 or 12 when I get the weather station and they want to be in the weather business. That kind of thing in various career fields doesn't happen anymore.
Doubt if you could find somebody in a younger age that would say, "I would love to wake up at 3 a.m. to do weather." I don't know.
We got one guy. The oldest is just finally getting around to figuring out what he wants to do.
Well, and it's okay. It takes a little time. That's all right.
It does.
The thing is that it's just. Do you have the drive to figure it out, or are you going to continue on the path and expect something to happen? At some point, but I think you'd get a dangerous amount of people that would take the trip to Mars.
It looks like it's 7 to 9 months.
Oh, we've cut some time off.
A trip to Earth to Mars generally takes 7 to 9 months.
I thought it was 18.
Approximately 300 million miles using current chemical chemical
But
propulsion
what do we
technology.
What are we getting per mile? I mean, miles per gallon. What are that thing?
I don't know.
Probably negative.
Depends on traffic as well.
Yeah,
right?
all right. No, I'm just saying there'd be more people because I don't think we have a whole lot of humans right now in America that don't know what they're doing and they want to go to Mars because what else?
Right.
I got nothing.
And
the
they just
full
don't-
trip
yeah,
is
you-
2 or
you-
3
you
years,
just-
it says.
Yeah,
2
you
to
don't
3
just
years.
roll off and become, I want to go to Mars. Yeah, it's
Well,
the
and
whole astronaut training is just phenomenal.
I would never consider anything like that if you had children, right?
Right.
I mean, you know, they're just you can't do that. So if you're a couple, that's fine. If you don't have any children, I think you'd be if you want to go to Mars, okay, I think you're going to be a pioneer and be in history books forever.
Right.
But it's not that safe.
Unless you're taking their kid. Maybe they're 20-something and you're
could
40-something.
Could we get a seat for 6? I need 6 seats. Otherwise, can't do it. I need the books for homeschool. Okay, I guess I can go listen to you. Could I get back for Christmas?
Oh, good.
If you don't straighten up, I'm sending you to Mars.
Yeah, don't make me stop this spaceship, kids. Come on. It's fascinating, but I think around
just
the
had
moon.
a sudden flash of the Jetsons cartoon show for some reason. I don't know why in my head.
Meet George Jetson. So anyway, do you remember? But if they're going 25,000 miles an hour, I mean that's just can't be safe. They got to go through the heat shield. Has to hold up. We haven't done this in a minute. So
I know.
It's happening.
And,
I don't know
and
what
when
times
you get
they're
to Mars,
coming in.
what do you, like you said, what do you do? How long do you got to stay? You have the supplies for it.
Sample the rocks and you learn more. It's just a learning thing. It takes 3 years to learn something, but you'll be there. It'd be amazing. But man, I mean, that's the only planet we can go to at this point. We're not Star Trek yet. I mean, you can't go to Venus. That's too doggone warm. So Mercury, way warm.
That's out.
Anyway,
So just after 7 o'clock tonight, 7:07 is when we're expecting
we're talking about
splashdown.
a Nixon era splashdown in San Diego,
concluding their 10-day lunar flyby mission.
I mean, how do you even do that, Greg? If we're going to come in here, we're going to land there in that water. Well, what if it's the Indian Ocean? See, how do they do that? The Earth's spinning at 1,200 miles an hour.
I remember
people.
the splashdown stuff on the Apollo missions.
Yeah, I do too.
It's off the coast of San Diego in the Pacific and parachute assisted. In fact, Mike Cianelli will be on the air with us in about a half an hour to talk about
former test guy at NASA.
Yeah.
All right, it's Greg Solier. He's our absolute no testing here. He knows his business. Meteorologist Greg Solier with a look at the weekend weather, which is going to have clouds. I don't think we're going to see the sunshine for a while here around here.
Well, yeah, today is kind of a scrub, but I think we'll get into a few hours of it tomorrow.
All right.
We'll kind of cloud things over and all that. So, do we read a sponsor yet, or I don't even lost where we're at?
Hometown Grounds is a coffee place in Tuscola. You can take your girlfriends there with your babies because they got play areas, and it's a nice place, and they serve Mad Goat Coffee. Mad Goat Coffee is fantastic. It's Hometown Grounds in Tuscola. Great place. Mm-hmm. All right,
I love
sir.
coffee. You got to check that out sometime.
Yes, great coffee. You bet.
Anywho's 57 out the door. A few spits and sprinkles of rain here through the Sydney Philo area. 58 at Rantoul, 59 at Rantoul. So temperatures have come down. They'll come up a little bit as the day wears on. Still a couple little rain areas and shower areas as you venture to the north and northwest. And some of the rainfall totals back into some of the wet grounds of the eastern Corn Belt areas, at least of eastern Iowa. Another inch and a quarter there. Next week, a wide swath of 1 to 2, some spots 3 to 4 inches as far south as Texas, as far north and east as Wisconsin and Michigan. And so whenever you made any progress out there, you'll be winding on down in what will be a delayed and wet spring season here over a wide area of the Corn Belt. Heading towards an afternoon high today, somewhere between the upper 50s and lower 60s. A couple spells of rain this morning. Clouds will stick around a good part of the day. A little thinning here and there, but we'll get full-fledged clearing tonight and chillier, 38 to 42 by tomorrow morning. And temps as we head on through the upcoming weekend, well, cooler, but still a bit above average tomorrow. Partly to mostly sunny skies at 65. Then late tomorrow, towards areas northwest of Champaign County, maybe a stray shower with lows tomorrow night into the 50s, and then maybe a shower thunderstorm chance early and late in the day on Sunday. But we turn rather windy, warmer, more humid, partly sunny, up around 80 into the low to mid 80s Monday and Tuesday, upper 70s Wednesday, Thursday, all 4 days. Outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms, the wettest Monday through Wednesday of next week. We'll try to dry things out late next week with temperatures still pretty mild for the time of year, well into the 70s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Hey, we're looking for a couple of really professional drivers that know the ropes and would like to get a home where they're treated with respect, getting home every weekend, making a good wage, and doing the right things safely. Yeah.
Awesome. 2 people. All right. And how would they connect with you for that?
They can get me at TIMO@GFTLOG.com or 765-793-7131 extension 4, or even my cell phone right now, 765-505-1295.
And then for dedicated diesel off Route 45 on Triumph Drive, as you're driving toward Rantoul on the left-hand side, you'll find dedicated diesel. What do you offer there?
Hey, we've got a couple of good mechanics in, trailer mechanic and tractor mechanic right now. We're doing DOT annual inspections, trailer repair, truck repair, just whatever you need, we can take care of.
Wow, that's really nice to know, because, we have to drive into some other cities. Not convenient. You can't get all that done here in Urbana at dedicated diesel.
At NCAA championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The National Collegiate Men's Gymnastics Championships, coming to Champaign, Illinois this April. Get your seats at ncaa.com/tickets.
ESPN 93.5, 8:15. Shauna Green got a 5-star person to transfer from LSU. They've been friends for a while before she decided on LSU. And her name is Divine Burgess. Anyway, she's 5-star. So that's a huge get for Shauna Green.
I'm trying to figure out what I wrote here. Barrage? Anyway.
I think it's a Burgess or some sort. Okay. Anyway, Divine.
Yes.
Cool name.
I like that.
Yep. And so we'll see. And then as far as I know, I haven't heard a word about anybody leaving Illinois. I'm sure there'll be a few people that'll look for greener grass, I suppose. Usually there is. We haven't heard, who can we bring in? Who's going to stay? You want to retain your key people? Keaton Wagler is going to go so high in the draft, all you can do is encourage him to go the route that he ought to go. And that's most likely a top 10 pick in the NBA draft in June, meaning a guaranteed, think about it, the 20th and 21st pick, Will Riley, Kasper Schaka Jonas last year. I think both pocketed over 20 million. Man. That's not 20,000, it's 20 million.
That's it.
It's just too unbelievable.
Cooper Flagg,
who's a superstar now in the NBA at age 19, scored 50 points the other night. He got 59 million guaranteed. So and if you're going to be top 10, it's got to be 40. So it's just generational wealth, and it sounds like he's from a very stable family that will give him guidance, and he'll get good advice and be smart with his money and be done earning money for him, his family, and probably grandkids. And hopefully they'll all do good with it, because money doesn't make you happy, and money can mess you up. We know all those stories. So I just think if you're really surrounded and you have your feet on the ground, it doesn't take too many million for you to be okay and take care of the family. But Keaton's just at that level. But I think you got to get David Mirkovic to say he's the rock star. And then Ivisic twins, I'd love to keep. Andre Stojakovic.
Like Jake Davis is probably staying.
We hope so, but he's getting offers. I mean, he's a fantastic role player. And then Andre Stojakovic is already working out with an NBA scout and team.
Well, it looks like the NBA draft is scheduled for the week of June 22nd.
Yeah, we'll want to watch that. I'm sure Brad will be there. So but if Stojakovic has got an NBA guy working him out now, they have coaches everywhere that get you ready for the chance to see where you can go. And if you go, 40th pick in the second round, there's no guarantee money, but Io got 2.8. So it's possible. It's just, if you get a guarantee and some kind of I don't think there's any guarantees in the second round. So anyway, they got to do all that stuff and evaluate all those things. And
well, when it comes to the transfer portal, I just went online to find out that 15-day period is now through April 21st.
That's correct. And then you can make a deal anytime. I've heard, I haven't confirmed, if Michigan got a Big Tennessee guy. Does it say anything about I saw a complete printout of all the Big Ten teams. Some have lost quite a bit. Wisconsin's lost a bunch. They were terrific this year, beat us twice. And John Blackwell might be the best guy out there, but he's going to get a lot of money for that. So, and you got to figure, do they fit? We know they can play, but are they going to cause a problem with chemistry?
JP Estrella is the one, Tennessee to Michigan.
Say how big he is. He's supposed to be a big
6'11".
man. Yeah, they need him. Right. I would think Morez will be back, probably. I don't think he's an NBA first rounder. I don't know about Mara, the 7'3" guy. Can he play in the NBA? I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, we'll see how it all shakes out. We'll
That's
know.
right.
And Brad Underwood told us in an interview that we plan on playing Monday or Tuesday again. If you missed it leading up to the Coaches versus Cancer Gordyville event that I think has just gotten more crowded because of the players being there and celebrating this team. Is going to be a mini pep rally. And who doesn't want to hear David Mirkovic talk in long form?
He's a good Coach Underwood. God help us all.
He's
You never know.
But isn't
It's
he our rock star? Didn't he say after the game, no one has ever given me a chance to be myself?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can be yourself here, fella.
Well,
Put that cowboy hat on again.
And that's
Come
why
on.
I feel like Merck and Jake Davis got to be pretty good friends.
Well,
I feel like I saw a piece about Jake Davis picking up a lot of the language and trying some of the food. And
I think Jake Davis is key. I think he rooms with Tomas Lavicevic.
Okay.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think money's being sorted out. Who gets what? How much is it? How much do we have? All the stuff they have to go through. And when I asked Brad if he likes that process, he said it doesn't matter if I like that process. You just kind of have to get her done.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
All right, the season for spring cleaning is here. While many may be focused on organizing closets or scrubbing floors, Busey encourages you to clean up your finances. Here's some steps to cut back on financial clutter, like evaluate and pay down debt. That's the golden goose. You want to get out of debt. Review your budget. Check your credit report. Sign up for e-statements and paperless billing. Set up automatic bill pay. Consolidate your accounts. Download the Busey mobile app. Get started. And it can't travel this journey until you begin to recognize you need to. You can go to Busey. They can help you sit down with some of their wonderful things. Talk about options that you might have, things you can do to plan for the future. You can go to Busey.com for more resources or stop by one of their many convenient locations today. Busey, for over 168 years, member FDIC. All right, let's take a look at this weather once again.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois. Champaign and Benevis Saturday. Cooler on the move and some shower activity here for this morning into the early afternoon. Temperatures into the low to mid 60s with the breeze around into the northwest and north. And skies expected to clear off for this evening, though. Probably 10th to quarter some spots, maybe a third of an inch of rain. Back into muddy mode over a fair amount of the area. But again, drop relief continues on. Overnight lows for tonight. Cooler at 38 to 42. Tomorrow, sunshine in the morning. A partly sunny afternoon. Small chance for a shower out northwest of Champaign County late in the day, with a high temperature for the day tomorrow expected to top out across the area at about 65, down tomorrow night into the mid-50s with a stray shower thunderstorm early and late, and a warm summer-like day's worth of weather. 40-mile-an-hour south wind gusts in the afternoon on Sunday, partly sunny, and a chance for shower thunderstorm early and late. We'll head towards about 80, low and middle 80s Monday, lower 80s Tuesday, with each day a couple clusters of showers and thunderstorms coming across the area. Some better coverage moisture as well Wednesday next week with high temperatures there into the upper 70s. For Steve J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. We never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding. We're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
Jesse with Lands Drain Cleaning. Do you have your sewer line cleaned every year? Are you constantly getting roots or blockages? Why deal with that headache year after year? Call Lands Drain Cleaning today at 217-355-5512 to have our expert staff come out, clean your line. We give you a free camera inspection, show you what's wrong, where it's at, and then we can offer you a repair for that problem so you don't have to deal with it again. Lands Drain Cleaning. Why call anyone else?
Looking for a great place to relax, grab a bite, and have some fun? Head to the Ambroise Sports Bar and Grill in Villa Grove. This well-furnished hometown tavern has something for everyone. Enjoy great food, a full bar, and a welcoming, family-friendly atmosphere. Step outside to the outdoor patio, challenge your friends on the golf simulator, or check out the full game room. Whether you're stopping in with the kids for dinner or meeting friends for a drink and some gaming machines, Ambroise Sports Bar and Grill is the place to be. Ambroise Sports Bar and Grill in Villa Grove. Good food, good fun, and good times waiting for you.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Provident Financial Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Service Advisors, Inc.
Here's what somebody recently said at Pards in Urbana. I was there just a few minutes, and somebody came up and asked if I needed help. And they were incredible, helped me find the size of boot I needed, and then I bought a second pair too. Everything was friendly, everything was excellent. Visit Pards in Urbana, 206 North Maple, between Main and University in Urbana. It's Pards Western Shop since 1968. Or go online and visit pards.com, pards.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
We probably
Looking for bold,
Hold
authentic
on.
Mexican
We
flavor?
probably should find out if Deb Frank Finan met the Pope.
Oh, that's right.
Is that true?
She did go to Rome, and there was a bunch of mayors that went on that trip, and I believe that was part of the...
I mean, but
kind of-
you didn't. I mean, it was like you shake his hand, you kiss the ring. I'm not sure how that works. The guy went to a White Sox game when they won the World Series, and he turned into the Pope. That's amazing.
I know.
A guy that speaks that fluent English. And
That's right.
I would.
Pope Leo.
I think the Pope should be an amazing human, which I'm sure they are, but I would not get into politics. I think you should probably be the spiritual leader and talk about love, but you get into it, then you just, there's an alienation there. I just don't know. My opinion, I don't think the Pope should be a political person. It should be just love. God loves you. Jesus loves you. And yeah. But anyway, if Deb Frank Finan met the Pope, it's pretty cool, actually. I remember the great late Willie Somerville took his Urbana choir to sing in front of, I think, Pope John Paul, was it? That was pretty amazing.
So, this is Chris Dolak, and he is with World of Outlaws.
Hey, Chris, how are you, man?
Good. How are you guys doing?
This is a big event coming up, right?
It is Farmer City Raceway.
It sure is. It's one of our favorites every year.
Let's just talk about racing in general and what you do for a living, Chris. Explain what you do.
That's a good question. No, I work with the World of Outlaws. I work in a lot of our event promotion area, and been out on the road with the series for a number of years. I've actually series directed with the late models that'll be at Farmer City this weekend, and now I turn my focus to kind of trying to spread the word about the events and help get the fans to the track.
Do you enjoy the road, Chris?
I do. It's working with the World of Outlaws. Boy, for me, it's been over 20 years now.
Wow, that's awesome.
You had a great opportunity to see all aspects of the country. I love to get out and travel. So for me to be able to see the coast to coast and all that, it's been a blast.
It's Americana, right? I mean, this is real Americans. These are just good old hardworking people that love this.
It sure is. And for me, a guy who grew up just outside Chicago, to be able to go East Coast, West Coast, North and South, it's been fun.
So as far as the racing tonight, the hot laps start at 6:30. Explain what a racing fan will see as we open up the season tonight in Farmer City.
Sure. We'll start out with our hot laps, which is kind of like a practice session. The drivers really only get a few laps to figure out the track, and then we'll go to qualifying, and qualifying kind of sets your stage for your heat races, and from the heat races we go to the main events. So it's kind of it works its way from your first couple laps on the track to get it figured out, where you got to do it real fast, and then work your way right up to try to lock yourself into a great starting position in the feature. And that's really important at a track like Farmer City. where it's kind of a bull ring, up on the wheel, elbows up type track.
And how fast?
Very
What are some of the speeds in Farmer City can you get to straight away?
Oh, speeds, well, they'll be over 100 miles an hour.
Excuse me? How big's that track?
Well, it's a quarter mile, but
how can you get 100 miles an hour, Chris? You can't make
You're
the
turning
turn
left all the time. and
man,
fast.
that's so fast. I didn't realize they got that fast.
Sure, they've got a lot of skill. These guys, the mechanics get those things tuned up, get the right sides up on the cushion and launch themselves down the straight. It's something to see.
Yeah, it sounds, and the people are going to be getting ready here. They bring RVs and stuff, don't they? They can tailgate, don't they do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tailgating, camping, it's all part of the
Wow.
event, especially an event like the Illini. Big weekend kickoff racing in Illinois this week with this event. That's sort of what it's always been about is come on out to the Illini, and that's sort of what sets the stage for racing in Illinois this whole season.
I wonder if you could still get in. I mean, they're going to be jam-packed. I would think they better make a move here.
That's right.
It'll be jam-packed, but we always have room. We'll make room. You can always buy a pit pass as well.
Wow.
But yeah, you can go to worldofoutlaws.com.
Hey, can I get a helmet and a speaker? Can I talk to somebody? Hey, how you doing? How's your gas? Huh?
You may not want that. You may not want that.
Especially on the
have the
first
driver
night.
talking to you afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
So it's all happening tonight. Gates open probably after 5 or so, and again the hot laps at 6:30. And there's stuff to eat there. There's stuff to buy there. T-shirts. There's giveaways and raffles. It's a blast. So head to Farmer City tonight and tomorrow.
Well, Chris Dolak, we appreciate your time. I hope it's a smashing success. People love the Farmer City Raceway.
That's right.
Great place. World of Outlaws.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for jumping on, my friend.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
You bet. My pleasure. Chris Dolak's his name. World of Outlaws, Farmer City, Illinois.
Yes, and enjoy tonight after 6:30 and worldofoutlaws.com for details.
All right, it is 8:31. We're going to talk about Artemis 2 and learn a little bit more about the process of coming home.
Yes.
And I do remember the intense speeds and heat.
Yes.
And that
on this splashdown tonight.
Remember Apollo 13, they were talking about, something's going to be, the parachutes might not open, it's been frozen, I mean, all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are. It's going to maybe too harrowing to watch.
Let's see how it goes. We'll be visiting with Mike Cianelli, who's a test director with NASA and has talked about preventing failure as a keynote speaker before. And we'll find out his
Trump
perspective.
warning Iran is doing a poor job of letting oil through the Strait of Hormuz as Vice President Vance heads for direct peace talks with Iran, talking positive.
We're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see, as the President of the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand.
The Artemis 2 moon crew preparing for their fiery re-entry to Earth atmosphere in San Diego splashdown tonight. The Bahamas lawyer for Brian Hooker tells Fox he fell overboard from a police vessel in a gust of wind and had to be rescued while in custody in the overboard disappearance of his wife, Lynette.
She's his life partner. He says they share everything together. He feels hopeless without her, so he is hoping that
Attorney Terrell Butler, America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A teen charged in Urbana shooting left another teen wounded in January. Police say detectives arresting a 16-year-old in connection with a January 29th incident. A 14-year-old shot sitting in a car on Hill Street after two male suspects approached, opening fire. Illinois Department of Corrections launching a new portal to help inmates receive an education. Journey to Success is a new customized educational content portal available on the tablets statewide. Application contains thousands of free courses and resources that individuals in custody can access from their living units. High school girls in central Illinois getting the chance to walk out of first responders' shoes. Camp Fury coming back to Champaign County for the fourth year in a row. Participants aren't just sitting and listening. This camp is filled with hands-on experience. It's a 5-day overnight experience that's packed with excitement for those who attend. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller. It is ESPN 93.5. I am Stevie J. That is Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to learn. And we're going to learn with Mike Cianelli, former test director for NASA. That looks good on a business card, Mike.
Not too bad. Good to see you guys this morning.
I don't think people understand how much testing is actually done before we challenge or do anything. I mean, testing is what it's all about till you're as sure as you can be it works, right?
I mean, we do everything. We do simulations. We test every nut and bolt, everything we can, because in space flight, man, you can't pull over if something doesn't work right.
Well,
you got to get it right the first time.
Yeah.
Integrity with the splashdown tonight and having the shields. Is everything going to hold up? We're reading some of the statistics on the cracks and things like that from past splashdowns.
We're used to kind of flying and landing it, but now we're splashing down like Nixon. I haven't seen this in a long time. What do you expect, Mike?
It's been a long time. Well, we did a lot of modeling. The first vehicle came back last time, and it didn't perform exactly as we expected. So it's kind of like in life, right? You test things, and it behaved a little differently. So we changed the reentry profile to take some stress off the vehicle and some heating off the vehicle. And so we're confident it's going to be fine. But again, as an engineer and a test engineer, we're always watching really close to learn everything we can to make sure it's sounding good this time, but next time as well.
It's 25,000 miles an hour. Is that right?
That's incredible, isn't it? 25,000 miles an hour.
It would not take long to get to Chicago, my friend. That would really be fast.
Wow. No.
but it's just we take it kind of for, remember Apollo 13 and everything, and we kind of took it for granted. This was routine. They barely preempted shows back when they had the trouble. All those things. I mean, it is still very precarious, and since we got to come through all that heat, how much when they come through into the atmosphere? What's the heat when they go through?
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, you think of this, you're doing 25,000 miles an hour, and you're basically slamming into the atmosphere. So it's like putting your hand out a car window. You get that resistance on your hand. Well, imagine putting your hand out the window at 25,000 miles per hour.
And
it's gonna hurt, right? So that generates heat.
Can we slow down? We can't slow down. We got to get through it.
I mean, there's a parachute, right?
Yep, and that's how we do slow down. So we actually use the atmosphere, the air of the atmosphere to slow us down. So we go from 25,000 to 0, and we use that air to do it. But the trade-off is we get heat. So we get about 5,000 degree temperature slowing down.
That's nuts. Okay, so why don't we melt? 5,000 degrees? Doesn't that melt metal?
It does, absolutely. So the spacecraft is actually made of aluminum. So at about 750, 800 degrees, the aluminum starts to melt. So we have to have that heat shield, and it has to work perfectly, because if that doesn't, it's not a good day for us. So we take that really seriously.
Okay, so where will you be tonight watching this, Mike?
I'm going to be watching with all the comm loops on, listening with the headset, and making sure every call from the crew sounds good. I'll be holding my breath, of course, when we lose the comms. It's a normal thing. We lose comm when we're coming through the atmosphere. And then just going to be really looking forward to hearing their voices again, watching those beautiful parachutes pop out, and then watching our friends back down to the ocean and go pick them up.
So we say test director. Maybe right now you want to just be a guy that works at NASA. Maybe we don't say test director. I mean, that's kind of a big deal.
I'm just a kid who was lucky to do his dream job.
Wow.
That's how I look at it.
But do you look at
every
day is such an experience? Do you think someday we really are going to have a camp on the moon and someday slingshot out to Mars?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, in this vehicle, this test flight was go around the moon. Artemis 4, so the second flight after this one is actually landing on the moon. So 2028 is our plan, and then we're going to start building that base right away. So hopefully within the next 4 to 5 years, you're going to see a base on the moon.
And how far, Mars is still a pretty good drive from the moon. Is that like a year? How long does it take to get to Mars?
Yeah, it's about 6 months. It's a 6 month journey. So it's 6 months. You got to stay about 6 and come back. So you're committed. Once you head to Mars, you've got about a year and a half easy committed. Wow. So that's hard for us to do. So we got to learn on a moon first practice. It's kind of like as a kid where we camp in our backyard, we get kind of used to things before we go on the Appalachian Trail. Well, we're kind of doing the same thing here, is getting used to it, getting smarter and smarter, and then take that big journey, hopefully not too long from now.
Well, listen, I hope we can visit again. I know you're crunched for time. Listen, Godspeed.
These astronauts have just done an incredible job. Have you been enjoying seeing all this information coming back?
Absolutely. I'm a biggest fan. Just like you guys, even though I'm honored to be part of the program, I am honored to be a citizen as well and to watch it as a fan. I love every picture, every story, and I'm right alongside watching and rooting them on all the way home.
Well, listen, take a breath. You get a whole minute off here before somebody else is calling you, Mike Cianelli. Listen, congratulations. We're praying that it's a wonderful reentry, and maybe we can chat again down the road, but congratulations on all you're doing with NASA.
It would be my pleasure. Great to see you both this morning and your audience as well. I look forward to doing it again.
Thank you. Mike Cianelli's his name, test director for NASA.
Nice.
That's kind of a big gig.
Splashdown tonight, I believe 5:07 for Central Time.
Now I'm nervous.
Right off of the Pacific in near San Diego. But yeah, those astronauts, I could even, Christina, Jeremy, and Reed and Victor, and we've been seeing them do so many media appearances and following this whole thing. It's been awesome, the last 10-day mission.
I'd like to have him on for like a half hour. I mean, really.
It's very interesting.
We could get into a lot of different things.
Absolutely.
Because your test director, what you never want to do is, did we test that? Oh, crud. I mean, there's 1,000 things to make. And again, I don't think we've done a splashdown since the 70s. Apollo 17, I think.
Right.
Otherwise, the shuttles have been kind of coming in and landing her like an airplane and jumping on a jumbo to come back. Yeah. All right, ESPN 93.5, 20 before 9. The woman in the Bahamas disappeared, and they arrested the husband.
She fell off the ship or something?
It was a little dinghy.
Okay.
8-foot dinghy. I don't know. I said, well, obviously the guy who's had anger issues, that's what everybody said. Apparently there was a domestic case, but she's the one that went to jail. He was bloodied. And so she spent the night in jail. That's the thing I read last night.
Right.
I mean, and how in the world are you ever going to know that? They've obviously had some issues.
Right.
But how do you know what happened in the middle of the ocean?
Right.
You can say all he said or what he did, but if she's the one that spent the night in jail because she bloodied him, I don't know. Anyway, it's amazing how these stories, with 8 billion people on the planet, there's the intrigue into things like this.
Yeah.
It's amazing the media eye where it goes and where it stays. I mean, how much coverage did we get on poor Samantha Guthrie's mom? And we still don't know any more than we did.
Right.
Unbelievable.
I think it's healthy for Savannah to have stepped back into her role and get back into the swing of things again.
I don't think you ever get over something, particularly when you don't know what happened. And you see a little blood on the mat outside the door, and you don't know anything. It's just so sad of a story. But we'll see. Anyway, it's weekend. It's April 10.
You can always keep in touch with us, 359-2255 on the Fisher National Bank text line if you'd like to be part of the show.
Okay. Again, you can listen up here for a little sports. We're still kind of, we make the Final Four, and the benefits are great. I'm sure we're getting an assessment of players that we can't take. I think we're at that point where I think we kind of busted through to where we are one of the best programs in America now. And guess who wants to come play for us? A lot of people. And some are, you're going to say, yeah, you're good. You're really, I don't know if they're good. At the top of the ladder here, the echelon of, the Dukes and those people can pick and choose. And then you got to say, well, if they come, are they going to play? How are they going to fit in? I mean, all this thing has kind of gone to a new level.
Right.
That's what I feel anyway. And it's gratifying because I'm sure there's a lot more people from the Balkan region, the Greece, the Estonias, the Croatias, and they all have friends.
Yep.
And I think they're all represented by one guy. And so he's got a guy here, he's got a guy there. I know we got another guy that we took at the semester break. I don't know if he plays into anything at all, whether he's in the plans. But I don't know. The good news is your coach has a real knack for putting a puzzle together. Every year you're going, well, I don't know, where are they from? How are they going to fit in? He's a good puzzle worker when it comes to humans on a team. And it sounds to me like he's got a pretty solid staff that give him an opportunity to listen to another point of view. And he said on our interview with him earlier this week that he's allowed himself to change.
Yeah.
And to me, his demeanor is completely different than it was when he came here 9 years ago. He's coming up on his 10th year.
I know.
Wow. And then we can sometime, I hope, focus on football. I mean, there must be some spring something, but we haven't talked a thing about football.
Right. Well, spring practices are in progress now, for sure.
Isn't there like where you can go watch a scrimmage or something? I thought there always is. And here's Brett Bielema has won more games in Illinois in the history of 120-year football.
Right.
And nobody's saying anything.
Kind of overshadowed by that Final Four appearance last week.
But it's so good for him, too.
Sure.
You've gone 19 games in 2 years. That's never been done at Illinois in the history of our football team. And I don't even know that they're practicing. I know they are, but I don't know about it. What the heck? All right, we check a headline or two here in a second. Everyone knows that when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. But did you also know that if you don't have a key and you need it to run, call 367-9481. PDR now performs key cutting with programming. PDR also performs module cloning. Cloning makes that module plug and play, in many cases allowing you to utilize a used module where a new module is no longer available or very expensive. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Looking for bold, authentic Mexican flavor right here in Champaign? Head to Moe's Burritos Bar and Grill, 723 South Neal Street, next to Bacon and Bim Buskirk. You'll find fresh, flavorful tacos, loaded burritos, and cheesy quesadillas. Best of all, the prices are perfect for college students and families. Moe's Burritos Bar and Grill, a hidden gem for authentic Mexican food in Champaign, 723 South Neal Street, next to Bacon and Bim Buskirk. Or check out the food truck with Moe's Burritos. Check out Moe's Burritos Restaurant on Facebook.
All right, sports headlines, 8:45, Friday morning, Diane Ducey.
It's Mom's Weekend, so we've got 11 different sporting events happening this weekend when it comes to track and field and the Illini Deca Jam, and UCLA in for the tennis team, UCLA also in for the softball team. First pitch tonight at 5, and it's Strike Out Cancer event. And so if you want to be a part of that, there's 3 games, and Illinois baseball also starting a series up at 6 o'clock tonight against New Orleans. So lots of choices in case you'd like to take Mom to that. Of course, there's all these different open houses, and Cunningham Children's Home is doing their Festival of Quilts. So a lot of things to do this weekend as you're out and about. It feels good. Keaton Wagler, first freshman in Illinois history to be the consensus All-American, which is one of the qualifiers to raise that jersey to the rafter, number 23. I know Kills there was so excited to come in from Fisher earlier this week and win that autographed jersey thanks to Campus Inc., the NIL store, and actually said that we have family lineage where we're in the same family tree. It's a few generations.
Was what now, the Kale?
Yeah.
He was fourth cousin.
Wagler.
Yeah, he got the jerseys fourth cousins.
Exactly.
I'm not sure they'll see it themselves at the same family reunion, but maybe.
Exactly.
Never know.
And let's see.
Remember that time? Hey, where are you going? I want to talk to you. My cousin. Hey.
We're related.
Yeah.
Divine Bourage, Bourrage is the new recruit.
We're going to have, whatever it is,
Davenport, Iowa.
We're going to learn about how to say her name, like Georgie Bashonsvili. We can do this.
That's right.
Yeah.
LSU freshman who is now transferred to Illinois. Her relationship with Shauna Green dates back to her high school years. Across the hallway here at CVJ Broadcasting, we'll hear the series starting up from Wrigley with our Cubs hosting Pittsburgh with a 1:20 start today. St. Louis is hosting Boston with a 7:15 start. Chicago White Sox were in action yesterday, 2-0. They blanked the Kansas City Royals, and they'll play at 6:40. The other little thing that's going on is the Masters.
Yeah,
and
lovely.
at 5 under on top of the reader board, I feel like we're hearing more about Rory than American Sam Burns, who's 29.
After today, they start pairing up based on your score.
Okay.
So Friday's just day 2. And we'll see what happens, how it shakes out. I kind of think Scotty Scheffler's going to be right there. Patrick Reed is a guy we haven't heard from in a while, and he's won before, and he's playing super well day 1. So, again, it's a long way to go. And what will the weather be? So one thing about the golf is that in the morning it might be perfect. By afternoon, the winds pick up, all that. It's just the luck of the draw.
Mm-hmm.
You usually go late on one day and early on the next, and depends on the weather. If you catch a break and can score, right now the greens are soft, so they can just go headhunt and just go right at the pin. And the thing's probably going to stay close. I saw a lot of shots, a lot of scoring yesterday, and it's kind of hard to go deep in the Masters, a big minus number. Usually it's a lot harder.
For me, it's going to be the Milwaukee Marathon event as my daughter.
Yeah, you're headed up there for Gabby's running a half marathon?
She's doing the half, so I think that's 13.1.
13.1.
She's got mile markers for us to cheer for her.
She had a little teaching venue on how to cheer.
She did.
That's so smart.
And what to wear, so she'll notice us along the route, and we can even get in her headphones and cheer her on at different points.
I can talk to her?
You can. I can send you that little app, Stevie,
so
and maybe
funny.
you can say, I've been saying prayers for you, and I hope you can cross that finish line in good time. So that steps off at 7 a.m. tomorrow in Milwaukee. Of course, Illinois race weekend is coming up the 23rd through the 25th when it comes to that Health and Wellness Expo that happens at the Arc, and then we really get into it, and Body and Soul is a big part of that at Curtis Road and Route 45. So if you need anything, they are on the pulse of what's happening at Body and Soul.
All right, 217 texter Jason. Yeah, you're right. 6-month flight to Mars? Mm-hmm. Have you been on a 2-hour flight with people to Florida? That's a good point.
That's true.
It's not like I'm going to remove myself from no, it's not that big.
Right.
So you
Can
better
go to the other side of the space
is
capsule.
Is there a patio? Can I just take my coffee and
Go
just
somewhere to have a beverage?
I talked to a guy who used to winter over in Antarctica, and there's like 30 people in like what is essentially a big tent.
Yeah.
Same room, no going anywhere. It's minus 90 out.
No.
And there's one bathroom. He said that the underwear that he had, the underwear, not
undershirt,
the insulateds, his chest hair grew into the fabric of that. Yikes. That would hurt taking off. One big scream. Otherwise, you had to get
like
everything. You could get everything on and go out for 15 minutes in minus 90 if you wanted to get away from people.
Mm-hmm.
But you were wintered over. There's like 3 months you couldn't do, even if you had emergency, you just don't have anything.
That's right.
So, yeah, you're right. 6 months to Mars. Excuse me. Could you put your socks back on? That'd be awful. All right. Let's check. Yeah. We have some of the habits we've seen on airplanes.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh. Sir, we don't want to hear you talking to your aunt all flight.
Or clipping your nails or whatever.
People that do that, they talk so loud. It's like, I don't want to hear this.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois. Champaign and vicinity. Nice to have some overnight and morning rainfall across the area, getting in the way of spring fieldwork and planting operations, but still some abnormally dry, moderately drought-ridden conditions over still some parts of East Central Illinois and the Twin Cities at large. Cool off for a couple of days. Warm, summer-like environs into the first half of next week, and no shortage of rainfall-making prospects as well. For the day today, breezy, cooler with some shower activity on and off through early afternoon. Temperatures right around 65 degrees on a northwest to west wind shifting around into the north as the day wears on. 12 to 24 and gusty. Clearing off for this evening. Chillier, 38 to 42 on the low. Tomorrow, sunshine in the morning, partly sunny afternoon. The high at about 65 or so. And the breeze around into the east and southeast. There may be an isolated shower late and a chance tomorrow night too, with temperatures down into the 50s. Out near 80, gusty south wind and maybe shower thunderstorm early and late with scattered showers and thunderstorms and highs in the lower 80s first part of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Hi, this is Damon Hackelman, owner of Clean Right in Champaign. When disaster strikes your home or business, you have choices for emergency restoration services in Champaign County, and we're honored every time you choose us. At Clean Right, you're not calling a big national chain, you're calling a family-owned and operated company with deep roots right here in the community. We treat every customer like a neighbor, because chances are you are. Whether it's water damage, fire, storms, or unexpected emergencies, our certified and experienced technicians are ready with a 24/7 rapid response. We work alongside trusted expert partners to make the restoration process smooth and stress-free, guiding you every step of the way. Our goal is simple: to return your home or business to safe, clean, like new condition as quickly and painlessly as possible. Learn more or request services anytime at cleanright.net. Clean Right, restoring properties and peace of mind across Champaign County.
I swear the first time I heard about Mars, it was an 18th month one way. So if it's 6 months, we are really getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're going to stay on Mars for a while. I don't know. Probably the pre, the post, all this stuff probably is a year and a half.
Well, just like Mike Cianelli that we had on a few minutes ago on the NASA team talking about how they're learning more about the, slingshot effect and how we'll be on Mars inside the or landing on the moon.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
I mean, do we
think about how much progress we've made in the last 50 years?
No, it's unreal. And then how does that work? You land on Mars and take off on Mars, or you have
or
the
do
guy
you land on the
have
moon?
a guy, well, all right, land on the moon, probably a jump off point. It's a little closer, and then you got to wait for the revolutions of where you're closest at the moment. We can calculate all that, and then you go and you land on Mars, or do you have a guy drive it around? You take the little Apollo capsule down and land, and then you take off very briefly, and the guy picks you up. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like
that's all I know about it.
There was an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that break this down for us or something.
Well, yeah, let's rent that movie. I'm sure that's all accurate. Yeah. No, it's amazing, and I don't know why we stopped going to the moon. I think we always learn things in space. We were able to test things and do all kinds. There's a ton of things that we benefited from going. And plus, it's just a dreaming thing that's awesome. To be able to say, wow, we can figure that out. Okay, that's it. We will be back, God willing, Monday.
Total Recall was that movie in 1990.
Yeah. That's a good documentary, I heard.
Exactly.
All right, Diane, thank you.
Enjoy your weekend.
That's Diane Ducey, and good luck to Gabby in a half marathon.
Thank you.
Rooting for her all the way to Milwaukee. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Meet you on Monday. Have a blessed weekend.
It's great when hard work and experience are recognized. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. I am thrilled to share that Fisher National has been ranked 7th in the nation as a top lender in mortgage loans among banks with asset size of $300 million to $1 billion by our National Banking Association. This recognition is a testament to our lending team's dedication and expertise. After all, better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. If you're in the market for a new home or considering refinancing your existing home, let our team at Fisher National Bank earn your business and trust. We offer competitive rates with low closing costs, and we locally service almost all of our loans. Come see us with all your home mortgage needs and experience the top-notch service that has earned us national recognition. Learn more at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're stuck on the road, you need help you can trust. Fast. That's where T-Pro Towing and Roadside Repair comes in. From light duty to heavy duty towing, they've got you covered 24 hours a day. With their state-of-the-art facilities, 3Cs, a division of T-Pro Towing, can repair semis to passenger cars at their Camargo facility. Service across central Illinois, including Urbana, Tuscola, and Camargo. Save their number now, 217-253-3450. That's T-Pro Towing and 3Cs. Ready when you need them, anytime, anywhere.
Hey, we're looking for a couple of really professional drivers that know the ropes and would like to get a home where they're treated with respect, getting home every weekend, making a good wage, and doing the right things safely. Yeah.
Awesome. 2 people. All right. And how would they connect with you for that?
They can get me at TIMO@GFTLOG.com or 765-793-7131 extension 4, or even my cell phone right now, 765-505-1295.
And then for dedicated diesel off Route 45 on Triumph Drive, as you're driving toward Rantoul on the left-hand side, you'll find dedicated diesel. What do you offer there?
Hey, we've got a couple of good mechanics and trailer mechanic and tractor mechanic right now. We're doing DOT annual inspections, trailer repair, truck repair, just whatever you need, we can take care of.
Wow, that's really nice to know, because, we have to drive into some other cities. Not convenient. You can't get all that done here in Urbana at dedicated diesel. Former Illini Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Minnesota Timberwolves about Ben Quattrone from Sarah Champagne. What kind of friend has he been?
Unbelievable. Ever since I came to this dealership, me and Ben had interactions. He's been a great person this whole time. It still is. I always would recommend him to anybody about a car or anything. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. He always be behind you. He's just a great person.
Visit sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
Hi, this is Damon Hackelman, owner of Clean Ride in Champaign. As winter fades and spring rains move in, melting snow, heavy storms, and stressed pipes can quickly turn into flooding and water damage for homes and businesses across Champaign County. When water shows up where it shouldn't, every minute matters. At Clean Right, we're a family-owned and operated company with deep roots in this community, and we're ready with a 24/7 emergency response. Our certified, experienced technicians arrive fast to assess the damage and start the restoration process right away. Whether it's a flooded basement, burst pipe, or storm damage, we work to make the recovery quick and as stress-free as possible. Our mission is to return your property to clean, safe, like new condition, so you can get back to normal. We work alongside trusted expert partners to make the restoration process smooth and stress-free, guiding you every step of the way. Learn more or request emergency service anytime at cleanright.net.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance.
Your roof is your home's best protection for the elements outside. And that's why Owens Corning Roofing is designed and tested for superior performance. Kramer is a platinum preferred contractor hand-selected by Owens Corning. So start today and get 10% off the best roofing from the best roofing professionals.
Call 217-355-2720, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.